Hello traders, today I wanted to talk about using just a single line of our proprietary market forecast indicator to help spot a trend change. And you can see down below what I've done is I've listed this market forecast indicator. Now it's different from the market forecast indicator that you have probably previously seen. In fact, what we're looking at here is just that single line. Now this is the longer term line right here of the market forecast tool. It's the intermediate term line. Let's go ahead and just go through the process of adding it. We'll explain what it's doing here as well. So up top, and you can see we're just looking at the S&P 500 here on a 1-year chart. Up top though, you'd add it just like you'd add any other indicator. Just go over up top here, just type it in though, in this case, market F for market forecast. Double click on it, pull it up. And what you'll see over here on the left-hand side, I've got the market forecast set up right here. Now with that, let's go ahead and just click on the wheel, and you can see what I've done on the momentum line as well as the near-term line. These are our shorter-term lines. On each of these, I have simply just taken out the show plot right here. So there is no plot, and therefore it will not show on the screen. The intermediate term line does have the show plot still. This is the longer term line. It's represented in terms of potential market cycles that we're seeing over an extended range. And I've got that listed as a 4 right here, just in the blue color. Now, as you can see up top, that's what we've got listed below. I'm going to pull this up so we can see this a little bit better. You can understand what's going on a little bit here with this. So it's oftentimes used on just exactly what the name is, market forecast tool. It's an indicator that does help us understand the market itself directionally. What is the potential direction of the trend? Where's the trend right now? Is it strong? Is it weak? Where might that trend be heading? Let's talk about a couple of key areas first. Now, for a bullish type trade, what we're looking for here, there are 2 indications of the bullish trade. Okay. First of all, the main one is anytime you are above 80 here, right here on our line, just trying to represent the 80 line over here. Anytime you're above that, regardless of the direction of the line, you can see this line is a little bit choppy, but regardless of that, of anything going on here with this line, and if we just draw like a single line coming up here, oops, sorry, right along this range here, you can see we got an initial signal somewhere in here when we began to cross above this 80 level here. So there is a little bit of that correlation, as you can see, coming in here right at that point. So from this point on, this indicator said going above 80. This is a way that some traders will use this. It's just an approach for the market specifically. Keep in mind, intermediate to a little bit longer term trends, but it can also help us to pick up on that shorter term trend as well. So once we get above this level, the market, the way that some traders will look at this is they say the market is giving us an indication that it may be okay to take long positions, maybe in stocks, whatever the case might be, right? You're looking at here, well, within stocks, let's say within the S&P 500, that are bullish. So potential buying of shares is one way that traders will use this because we're seeing strength in the market. We have that behind the scenes, maybe powering the stocks within the S&P 500 because collectively they're going higher, right? And so as long as we're up there, we're showing that strength. Now, as soon as we start to come down, you can see that's probably right in this area right here. We did go below the 80 level, and so therefore we're not getting that indication from the market indicator to put on bullish positions. In fact, we're going down. Now, I need to state this too, because the other indication is for the bullish side. The main one, or I should say the first one, is going above 80 and holding above that level, regardless of the direction of the line. Now, the other one, though, is right down here. Once we get above the 20 line, this is early. This is earlier for sure, but anytime we're above the 20, so greater than the 20 line, but also the line itself, okay? The market forecast intermediate term line, the one we're looking at here, has to be going up. So some traders can put a position on there as well. It's kind of like, hey, there might be a short-term trend that might start to go up longer term, but perhaps the intermediate term trend hasn't flipped yet. You can see that we actually did get maybe an initial signal right over here. There was enough strength to lift that above 20 and keep that line going up. Let me just highlight that area. So maybe like right in here, as you can see, we are crossing just above that 20 correspondingly down below on the market forecast, right around that level. Now, the other thing is did we also get kind of a bounce right here? We did, and we started to go up and we're above 20. So right in this range too, it's saying that, hey, as soon as we start to go up, there is an indication, but look what happens. It quickly shifts lower. So this can give us potential, the way some traders would use it, potential entries on the short term. It ended up being somewhat like a triangle type pattern over here. You can see it right here. There was another entry that lined up with this point here. And we had gone up for a while and it said going up, but now you can see that we did shift back down. In fact, we didn't really get too much above 80, I think one day, and then we immediately went down. So this is sort of like an intermediate buy indication, like the market forecast is giving us a sign that, hey, there could be some entries that could be taken in on the market here, but it's not really as strong as what you'd see maybe over here. This might be the strongest buy indication because you're holding above it. Now, conversely, flipping it around on the downside, where are the sell indications? Well, the strongest sell, okay, we'll start with that first, is anytime you are below that 20 level, 20 right here. So in this case, less than 20. If we're below that level, it doesn't matter the direction of the line. It still says, hey, no indications from the market forecast to put on entries, for example, in the market, buy entries, okay? Buying potential stocks, whatever. It doesn't show that, okay? It's saying avoid, basically. The next indication on, not to get in on a trade like this. Well, first of all, let me state this: below the 20 is an interesting level, but anytime, like we just mentioned, you go below 80 is a second sign, right? And you're pointing down. That also is the additional indication that we're not getting an indication. We just went through that a little bit already, but notice we are below 80. We're less than 80 here. And what's the direction of the line? Well, the direction of the line here going at 80, in this case, going below 80 is down. So you don't do anything here. So just to kind of recap, the strongest buy side really is when you're above 80. It doesn't matter the direction of the line. It just shows there could be a lot of market strength coming in. Conversely, on the downside, it would be down here below the 20 level. Now, I would encourage you to go back and to get familiar with this indicator. Go back over 2, 3, 4 many years. You can take a look at it and just kind of prove for yourself if something like this makes sense to you in terms of maybe some early indications, a way to potentially spot a change in trend early. You'll notice that this right here did cross above that 80. Gosh, I'm drawing it. Hang on, let me just flip this. I'm doing it. I want to do it in blue or yellow, whatever, but not red. But here we go. We're above that right here. Look how long we actually stayed above that level. There's a little bit dip here, but you immediately got back, but there was a lot of time above 80. Did that play out well? Go back and look, though. Prove it to yourself. See if this is an indicator that can be helpful for you. Now, having said all that, last thing is, I just wanted to state as I'm thinking about this and going through this, the one thing I can do, because I do work with ThinkScripts, I teach the ThinkScript class on Thursdays, this coming Thursday, so that is into next week. What I will do is I will use this, try to build a ThinkScript code that puts those lines in, and that shouldn't be anything too hard. So I could put the 80 in, I could put the 20 lines in so you could spot these. And by the way, what I could also do is have the market forecast line flip to red down here, and also red below 80 pointing down, but then also green. We could have green or blue, whatever color, you could change it if you are above the 80 level. So that would give you a color-coded view of what is happening as well. But I'm happy to do that in the ThinkScript class coming up this week. All right, everybody. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for attending. Bye-bye.